Hello, Cupcakes. Welcome to another edition of Cupcakes Comic Reviews with me, your host Lohit. Today, we're going to check out the new comic books that dropped this week. And the summer of Supergirl is upon us, which means that there's a lot of DC we have. But we also have a lot of indie titles. We've got a lot of Image books. We've got a lot of Dynamite books. We even have like an IDW title. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Alright guys, let's start with Absolute Superman issue number 20. This is by Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval coming back to the art. And I can do a silent review on this book. It's very simple. So you got this guy and you got this guy. And basically the whole story is... die. And that's it. That's basically what goes on in this entire issue. So again, it's a big battle. If you've seen the last issue, they unleashed King Shazam. Talia al Ghul unleashes King Shazam upon the world, and you've got Steel, you've got Hawkman, and Superman trying to basically fight him out. And he's super powered, he's uber powered, he's overpowered, and they're basically trying to stop him. And that's what the entire issue is. And it's a phenomenal issue. I thought this was pretty strong. The battle sequences are super kinetic, dynamic. Rafa Sandoval drawing the best work, doing some best work of his career. Absolute Superman has become like slowly but surely one of my favorite titles across all these Absolute lines. It started off slow with Peacemakers and whatnot, but then now it's a banger, right? And it's got all the mythology in, it's got like all the art towards its side, it's got freaking Hawkman, freaking Steel facing against King Shazam or basically Seth Adam, right? So I bought these action figures when Black Adam came out like ages ago, right? Looking through this, it was fantastic, and I'm kind of sad that we never saw Henry Cavill go against Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the movies, right? So but this is again definitely my pick of the week, right? Definitely check this out if you haven't. If you've been thinking that Absolute Wonder Woman and Batman are the only titles that are good in the Absolute universe, that's not true. This is equally good. But that's my review of Absolute Superman issue 20, guys. All right, let's move on to Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 21. This is by Kelly Thompson, and the art is by, not heard of them before, I think it's Danny Snook, right? So it's different than the Hayden Sherman art you're used to. What this is basically Diana coming back to the island. Yeah, Dylan Snook, never heard of them. So what this is basically that Diana comes back to her island and she finds out that her mother is no longer there, like she's missing. And the whole book is about a quest for Diana to search for her mother, right? And she faces off like gods and monsters and every kind of like Greek mythology creature that there is, right? And you also have some of the threads that are following, especially with Barbara Minerva, who's been captured by Veronica Cale, and she's in captivity with a dead cheetah. So there's that. There's multiple things going on, but the main thread is your Wonder Woman who's trying to search for her mother. And the new artist, Snook art is not too bad. It's pretty good, in fact, compared to, I miss Hayden Sherman on this book, but I think this is a 2-story arc. It's a new 2-story arc where she's probably going to look for her mom. Friends and Neighbors, part 1 of 2, right? So I guess Dylan Snook is going to take care of those 2 issues. Overall, this book is still kicking ass and taking names. I am still impressed by Absolute Wonder Woman every week. This is issue 21, and I'll continue to pull this, guys. Okay, as I said, it's Summer of Supergirl, so there is a Summer of Supergirl special. This is a cover by Tula Lote, the wonderful Tula Lote, whose artwork I absolutely love. So I had to buy this. This one is just a Supergirl special. It's got 3 stories, but what is confusing here is the first story is your... So there are 3 stories here, right? So the first story is a continuation of Lobo issue 4. So what happens in Lobo issue 4 is that Lobo and Dog, that is his dog, are basically trying to steal like this replica Fortress of Solitude on this planet, and then Supergirl and Crypto shows up. and Supergirl and Crypto show up. And then basically what happens is that, and that these law officers show up, and in the end, all four of them get arrested. Right, and in this issue, it's a continuation of that, which is a very weird choice, because I don't know why you would throw this in. This is not a Supergirl title, this is not a Lobo title, this is just a special, and I'm really surprised why they decided to go this route. But anyway, so if you haven't read that, you might be confused, like, why are these guys here and why is Lobo, like, so they're in front of a court, in front of a judge and all. So yeah, so that's the story that we're following. That's the first story, right? The second story is a team up. So that's by Gail Simone and Emma Kubert, artist Emma Kubert. And the second story is basically, this is the kind of artwork you can expect, because Emma Kubert is a fantastic artist. So this is Mary Marvel and Supergirl. And so they team up, and basically they have to, it's about them bonding together, and because Mary Marvel is looking up to female superheroes, and she feels that Supergirl is one of them. And the last one is basically chronologing, like this is by Mark Waid and Cian Tormey on the art. This one is basically chronicling like Supergirl's life, because you got Connor Kent and John Kent and Steele looking through the archives on the Justice League Watchtower on Supergirl. So they kind of like to kind of give you like her entire story ever since she landed on Earth and she died in Infinite Crisis, came back, was slave to Darkseid, and all the way till Tom King's run on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, right? So they chronicle everything in like 5 to 6 issues. They compress it just to probably to introduce you viewers to the movie that is coming in, right? So there you go. That's the movie poster. Movie's dropping today. I'll check it out definitely, and you should too. But this is again, guys, Supergirl issue, Summer of Supergirl, special issue number 1. All right. The next book is a pure cover buy for me. This is Zatanna by Carla Cohen. I just absolutely adore Carla Cohen and everything she does, right? So she was sketching Zatanna, then I just had to buy this cover. The book is by Jamal Campbell. I have not been completely enamored by Jamal Campbell's Zatanna run. It's not bad, but again, it's not doing, it's not giving me that punch I need with this character. And I love this character, right? So in this story, but so I bought it for the cover. But in the story, what is going on is like, she's like a sorcerer supreme. She's the prime magus of the DC universe. And she's taking care of all these magical problems that have arisen across the DC universe, right? So she teams up with, this is Papa Midnight from John Constantine. So all these magical beings are teaming up with her, and there is this spirit from, I think, from Hades realm, who probably escaped, and she's trying to get that spirit back, and that's the whole story. So the story I didn't dig that much. It was okay, I love the character. I love Jamal Campbell's artwork is sublime. It's like really great, like flows really well through this book. The colors pop, and he is the writer and the artist. Right. I have no problems with his artwork. His artwork is great and it suits Zatanna's style. The only thing is that the story, I just wish it was more tighter, right? Just for my understanding and for my enjoyment. It's a simple story. Again, it's not bad by any means. I'm not saying that. But compared to like the bigger books we have here, it's a crowded place, and and I hope this sells well because of the popularity of the character. But story-wise, it was okay. But again, look at the gorgeous Carla Cohen artwork, man. That's the reason why you buy this book. But anyway, this is Zatanna, issue number 3, guys. Next one is another amazing cover, because we're full of amazing covers this week. This is David Nakayama cover on Flash issue 34, or basically the 4th issue or 3rd issue of Ryan Knott's run. So this is Flash Paths of Destruction. I'm really enjoying Ryan Knott's take on Flash. So in this case, what is happening with Barry Allen is and Guido Guidry is on the art. So Flash is able to go through the future, right? He's able to see visions of the future, and he basically consults Mr. Terrific here that, okay, why is this happening? And, is this something normal? So he's able to run so fast that he's able to see visions of the future and in the past, and he's able to prevent those events, right? So in this event, he thought that it would be like an anomaly in the Speed Force or something, or maybe something is wrong with him. Mr. Terrific convinces him that it's just a part of his evolution of his powers and just to embrace them. So he does that, and and basically experiments on it. So So yeah, something happens. There's an attack on by by the gorilla city onto like Central City, and then he tries to save the day using his new powers. This has been a lighter run, right? It's been like a good like fun adventure book, just as Flash is supposed to be. Flash doesn't need to be dark and depressing and deep and moody. Flash just needs to be like fun and exciting, and that's what this is. And it features the character of Wally West, and yeah, I think Ryan North for the previous run with Simon Spurrier was very confusing. So this is much more simpler. It's more grounded. So, and I'm enjoying it, right? But that, and then of course the gorgeous cover by Mr. David Nakayama, right? So the whole red cover, so good, so amazing, and so I'm loving it. I'm digging it. This is Flash issue 34, guys. Okay, so the next one is Justice League issue 20. This is by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Again, bought it for the Dan Mora art, and this is again a Bilky Everly cover. The artist on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. As I said, Supergirl, the movie drops like this week. So they're pumping out a lot of Supergirl stuff out there, and as they should, right? So yeah. So, but what is happening in the pages of Justice League? So the Brainiac Queen has arisen, as we saw in the last issue, and the Justice League, the people on the Watchtower need to fight her and confront her. So you've got a plethora of Justice League characters led by Batman who are fighting the Brainiac Queen. And on the other hand, you've got the team of Guy Gardner and bunch of others who are stranded on this planet. They're not stranded on this planet. They go to the planet which is inhabited by all these monsters. And apparently they had this whole reserve of all the powers of Justice League, and like they had it like in a container or something. That container has exploded on this planet, and all these creatures have the Justice League powers, and they're trying to fight them out. Why? Because comics, right? Don't ask me for an explanation. So, but again, Dan Mora artwork works really fine. The action is amazing. Stakes are high. Again, it's more, it's building up a story, right? With a central theme. So yeah, it's a team type book. So there are way too many characters in this. If you don't know, most of these characters, you may find yourself a bit lost. I knew all of them, so I had a good time with it, right? Because I've been following all the Justice League runs ever since day one. So yeah, so I enjoyed it, man. It was a blast for me to read, a good team up book, and I'll continue reading this. This is Justice League Unlimited issue number 20 for you guys. Okay, the next book is, again, it's probably my second pick of the week. This is Superman issue number 39. This is by Josh Williamson, and again art by Dan Mora. It's the penultimate issue starring Superboy Prime, right? So Superboy Prime has taken over the Superman book, and that's a good thing because he's like injected a breath of fresh air to this book. But what's happening in this book is that Superboy Prime mind has been invaded by Manchester Black, who wants him to like alter the course of reality. And because Superboy Prime is so powerful, he can punch through reality. And what he wants, and he exactly wants him to do that, so Manchester Black can probably resurrect himself, right? So that's the idea. And but right now Manchester Black has taken over his mind, and he's putting him through all these like illusions, basically greatest hits of his life, like from Infinite Crisis to everything that he's been through, right? And he makes them go through everything. It's like a trials and tribulations of Superboy Prime, right? He's now a good character, but he was not always a good character. He was like a totally evil character, right? And he's reformed. And the whole book is been about like the whole 4 or 5 issue series. The last 4 or 5 couple of issues have been about challenging Superboy. Like, is he really that good? Can a person was so evil? Is he able to like probably change himself and for the better, right? And Superboy is trying really hard, like not to fall on his evil ways. And again, what works for this book is the super amazing storytelling by Joshua Williamson and the Dan Mora art. So the best part about this book is you get this different styles of art, because Manchester Black put Superboy Prime through all of these different universes, and every universe you get a different art style, right? So this is, for example, the Superman animated series. So if you see the art style, Dan Mora switches from this regular kind to the Superman animated series kind. And so there are a lot more worlds, and then Dan Mora switches his art through to match all of those worlds. And if you're a comic book fan, like, indie comics, regular comics, you love this issue because it's like a homage to like comics in general. And what Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora have done here is like phenomenal, right? So this is my second pick of the week. This is Superman issue number 39, guys. Okay, then we've got two more DC books. We've got Bizarro issue 2. This is by Kevin Smith and Eric Carrasco and Nick Pitarra on the art. So Nick Pitarra's artwork is very unique. It reminds me of like a little bit of Ed Piscor's artwork, right? And some of the artwork I've seen on Mad magazines, right? So it's very unique. But what the story is that your Bizarro he brings in Perry White and Jimmy Olsen to his universe because he wants to, them to run the Daily Planet and make things positive about himself, right? And that's the whole story. But I bought it for the unique artwork, right? So yeah, again, let's see how issue 2 does. Issue 1 was pretty good, so I hope that they continue the pace on issue 2. But this is Bizarro Year None issue number 2 for you guys, and recommended to me by Jeremy Adams too. So there's that. And the last DC book we have is Rick Veitch and Tom Mandrake, Swamp Thing issue 90. This is also the penultimate issue of Rick Veitch's Swamp Thing run, which DC is reprinting because it was discontinued in the 80s, but now they're back because, they made up because of some controversial stuff that Rick Veitch tried to do with putting Jesus into the comic books, right? So they're printing it out. I think this is the penultimate issue. There's one more to go. So I'll collect it all. I haven't read the Rick Veitch run on Swamp Thing, to be honest, but these issues, like these 4 or 5 issues, have been pretty independent and I've been enjoying them. It's good to see the old school 80s Swamp Thing. What they've done is also they've printed this on like newspaper print, and at the same time they've included the original ads, right? So the ads are all from the 80s DC comic as it would when they had it like released in the 80s and all. So you've got like some Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure and stuff. I don't know what the story about this book is, but yeah, it's going to be Rick Veitch, Tom Mandrake. So yeah, what's not to like, man? So, but this is Swamp Thing issue number 90 for you guys. Okay, with DC done, let's jump on to the indies. We've got Void Rivals by Robert Kirkman and Connor Hughes. So after the Quintesson War is over, it's done. This is issue 31. This is a Skuxoid-centric issue. So the Skuxoid are like, they're these creatures like, who are basically clones of themselves. And they live on this planet, on this asteroid basically. And they're ruled by this guy called Skuxoid Alpha. And the whole issue is basically a civil war between a Skuxoid clone who gains his sentience and freedom, and he wants independence from the Skuxoid leader Alpha. So I thought that, because it doesn't focus on Darek and Solila and the usual gang of Void Rivals, I would not enjoy it, but I loved this. I dug this. And Connor Hughes, also like, a fill-in artist. I thought that, am I gonna dig this? I really dug it. It's got a good story, very heartwarming story, right? About this civil war and internal conflict. There is great action. Again, Skuxoid-centric issue, right? It doesn't have much to do as of now with the main universe. So it's like a, side quest kind of a thing. You may want to read it, you may want to skip it. I don't think this will impact your enjoyment of the overall Void Rivals. I dug it. I would definitely recommend it. This is Void Rivals issue 31, guys. All right, the next one, this book is amazing. This is Daniel Acuna and Rick Remender on Escape. This is issue number 8. So it's a World War II type story with anthropomorphic characters. So you've got your ally side of things and you've got your Nazis. So this one guy from the Allied soldiers of Allied forces has his plane crashed and he's behind enemy lines, and he was given a mission to destroy this Titan gun, which is like this ultra super powerful gun that the Nazis owned. So all these 7 issues has been him trying to get that mission done. He's hiding and he finds a bunch of rebels and he teams up with them, and then finally he goes and he destroys the gun. This is the aftermath of that, right? So the gun has now been destroyed, his mission is done, and now it's all about, as you guessed it, his escape, right? And that's where the escape begins, right? But then there is a lot, right? Because there is this general whose son he killed in the previous issue, and he wants to take revenge on him, so he's looking for him. And this guy basically lost his super Titan gun, which was his like super ultra weapon, against the Allied forces. So he's pretty mad. So he has all his forces looking for him. And at the same time, you have these band of rebels who helped out our main character Milton. And they're being interrogated and they're being tortured for information. Again, Daniel Acuna art is 100% ace on this one. Like, it really gives you that gritty, dark feeling of a World War comic, like a Commando book or something. And at the same time, Rick Remender, oh my goodness, man, his writing has gone like from here to here. He so slowly has become one of my favorite writers, over there. And this is post his Marvel DC work, right? So yeah, man, this is amazing. I would totally recommend this. Buy this, guys. This is Escape issue number 8 for you. Okay, next we have Jimmy Palmiotti and Patrick Reynolds on Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. This is probably the best Spawn book that's out there because of the Patrick Reynolds art and the Jimmy Palmiotti storyline. What this is again, Spawn is in the Midwest because he's Gunslinger, he's a cowboy, he was resurrected as a Spawn in the Western era. And then you've got this General Lane, who has basically murdered someone close to Spawn, and Spawn is basically hunting him. And the whole thing is about, the story is about like him going on a quest to hunt this General Sam Lane, who's surrounded by, a gang. So yeah, again, why I keep on buying this, I thought this was going to be like a 4-issue mini, but they've got it to 15 issues now, and I've been digging it, I've been loving it, I just want the final confrontation between the General and Spawn, because they've stretched it too long. But yeah, as long as I keep getting this Patrick Reynolds amazing artwork, look at those crows, man, entering those guys' mouths. Again, I am happy as long as Patrick Reynolds keeps on wants to do it. Like, again, I buy this for the Patrick Reynolds art. Again, story-wise, it's one of the best Western books out there. Jimmy Palmiotti is killing it. He knows how to write a Western because he did Jonah Hex. So I'm loving it. I'm digging it. This is issue number 15 of Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn. Okay. We've got way overboard on time, but we have a couple of more books to finish it out. So we've got Gehenna in Tokyo. This is Patrick Kindlom. This is a one-shot post the Gehenna Naked Aggression run featuring the character of Gehenna. And this is art is by Marco Ferrari. Yeah, this is a mature book, so I can't show too much of the internal artwork, but I can show you this wraparound cover where Gehenna is basically in Tokyo and she's fighting one of the Yakuzas. Yeah, so again, amazing book. It's like an action movie, plays out like an action movie with this action heroine called Gehenna, and I'm loving it, for what it is. It's a one shot, and I hope Gehenna returns in probably another longer format series. It's more close to what Gun Honey is, what Titan Comics are doing. And yeah, again, if you like hardcore action, and you don't mind, it's a mature book, then this book is totally for you. All right. Then we've got Conan the Barbarian, and this is by Jim Zub and Doug Braithwaite. In the last book, Conan fought this assassin called Son of Toth, and now he's injured, so he's recovering. And there is this girl who helps him out, right? Who treats his injuries and everything. And now he has to pay her back, and he doesn't have the money. So yeah, and he's healing up fine. Out comes this woman. I seek the one called Conan of Cimmeria, and I have a task for you, and a sacred task. And if you do it, you'll have the money to pay this girl who basically treated your wounds. So what does Conan do? Does he say no? Obviously not. He says yes, and he embarks on another quest. So it's a new storyline, right? So it's a good jumping on point for people who are just discovering Conan for the first time. And yeah, Conan has been brilliant. I have no further words to say, right? Jim Zub and Doug Braithwaite kicking it on art and the story and the colors. So everything about this book just works. So, and this is just a new storyline, right? So yeah, so I'm loving it. I'm digging it. This is a great cover by Nick Percival. Conan like killing these skeletons. It's a sword and sorcery book, guys. What else do you want me to say? It's been crushing it. Probably the best sword and sorcery book ongoing on the stands. It's on issue 32. It's been amazing. I have all the issues, so check it out. Okay, we've got this is a Mike Ruth cover. That's the reason why I bought it. This is Altered States Warlords, Dynamite. I don't know what this book is about, but I think I can take a guess. I guess it's about putting all these Dynamite characters and interchanging their worlds. So basically, they've taken Red Sonja here and they've put her on the planet of Barsoom, right, where you are Deja Thoris. And now she has to fight, the Martians. So Red Sonja, Red Planet, right? That's the storyline. Creative team, David Avalon, and artist is Mariano Benitez Chapo. Never heard of them, but the art looks okay, right? And I hope like it's a kinetic action romp, as Red Sonja should be, across spaces, man. So again, Mike Ruth cover, amazing Mike Ruth cover. Like she's killed this Barsoom thingy, and she's walking on Mars, and she doesn't need any oxygen because she's Red Sonja, and that's amazing. All right, last book, guys. Last book we have Rocketeer, The Island. This is the last issue of this book. It's about Rocketeer, who's basically looking for Amelia Earhart, who falls into Skull Island, and he finds King Kong there, and King Kong is fighting this monstrous T-Rex out there. Obviously, Betty gets kidnapped. Rocketeer has to go and rescue her. It's a very simple plot line. You've seen this 100 times, but it is so phenomenally done here by John Layman and Jacob Edgar that, I love it. I dig it. It's one of those Indiana Jones type books, set in that whole World War II era. And and the artwork is sublime, and if you like these adventure type of books, it's only 4 issues, guys. I would appreciate if you can check it out. But that's and it's got great action, and it's got Tintin and Popeye thrown into the mix too, if you can believe it. But that's Rocketeer, The Island, guys, issue number 4. And that'll do it for this week's comic books. If you stuck still with us this long, then I thank you. Check us out on Instagram. We're doing a lot of short form content there, but this is where we do our long form content, our weekly comic book review. And I appreciate you for joining us, Superman and Black Adam. Thank you, guys. And I'll catch you next week again. So please be sure to join us next week. And for now, up and away. Go watch the Supergirl movie, guys. And that's it.
Thank you.